I feel good after, but I'm like, during. Hey guys, I'm Leighann, if you've never seen me before. If you have, thank you so much for coming back. Today, we are trying out a new foundation. This is the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation All Day Confidence Long Wear Weightless Full Coverage Velvet Matte Finish Foundation. This one caught my eye actually in a couple of different sponsored posts on Instagram. It just sounds like the kind of foundation I would love. I've loved IT Cosmetics foundations or like BB creams, CC creams, you know, all of those in the past. It's been a while since I've tried a new one, but this one I just needed to try. So I ran over to Ulta. I grabbed mine. It comes in 48 shades, which is good. We're good there, right? It was actually really hard to choose, and I actually got one and then walked around the store, wiped off my swatches on my hand because I forgot to do it before I checked out, and reconsidered my shade choice, went back to the counter and exchanged it. So hopefully I made a good choice. I got this shade 145 Light Tan W. Comes in a nice bottle like this. The packaging is just okay. I don't really care about packaging generally. I mean, if it looks pretty, I'm happy. But if it works, that's what I'm happy about. That's what really matters. I'm looking at the Ulta site now. $32 is a pretty good price point. Right now it has 4 stars. Also good. I haven't really looked at reviews, and I've seen a few videos pop up, but I didn't really want to like taint my review because I knew I wanted to try it and I knew I wanted to do a foundation wear test video for you guys. So I didn't really want to like muddy the waters, but I feel like that's a good price point. It says it's a weightless full coverage velvet matte finish that gives up to 24 hours of wear and hydration. Plus it's oil-free and perfect for all skin types. This sounds like a lot of promises. Really, I'll just be happy if it works for my skin type, which in case you don't know, it's kind of like a combination oily. I also have some random dry patches, like right now they're like right here, and sometimes they can show up on top of my nose. And I think that's just from like using Retin-A and different spot treatments that can really dry out my skin. But generally I get pretty oily. It has all kinds of like active ingredients, anti-aging and skin loving ceramides, peptides, hydrolyzed collagen, hyaluronic acid, and squalane. Squalane. I've heard of that before. I still don't know what it is. Put it on my skin. I'm ready. So like I said, I am gonna do a wear test today, but I'm getting a later start than I planned because there's been construction outside this window over here and it was killing me. Like I was sitting here like, come on, come on. That's why I have my brows and a little bit of eyeshadow on. I feel like I look crazy right now, but I was just trying to like let it die down, and there's still some sound out there, but I'm not sure if you can hear it. Hopefully you can. But since I am getting a later start, I'm definitely going to be trying this out for a few days. So I'm going to do the wear test today, but I'm also going to be doing it for the next few days. So I'm really going to give this a go. I'm really going to try to make it work because I'm in the mood for a new favorite foundation. I just recently revisited one of my big all-time favorites, which it's so weird that I even took a break from this one. It's the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and this one has been around forever. You probably already know. It's just like maximum major coverage, and it really holds up forever. It holds out as long as you do. I use this one for my wedding. I trust this one with my life, but I guess I just kind of got away from it because I didn't really feel like I was needing that like major coverage on a daily basis. But then I just went back to it like last week and I was like, wait a minute, what have I been doing with my life? And I don't know, reading all of the claims for this foundation, the Confidence in a Foundation, I'm kind of thinking like, is this kind of same book, different page? I don't know. We're gonna see. Hopefully this matches me. But before I go in with that, I probably need to do primer. I'm just gonna use my oldie goodie, super crusty looking primer. This is the Makeup Forever a hydrating primer. This is just what I've been using, I don't know, like every day for a year. I kind of get boring with primers because I have a hard time seeing if they're working. I just got some little long bangs cut, and now we've got this little like 6-year-old hairstyle. Are you loving it? Gotta say I am. Okay, my primer's done, and now I'm gonna use a little corrector. This is the one I use every day. I'm just really using the products that I use with this foundation every day that I know and love and trust because I wanna give it a good chance to actually work for me. And I know these other products work for me, so that's why we're doing it this way. This is awkward. Why does this shirt come up that high? It's like the t-shirt that's trying to grow into a turtleneck. There we go. Let's see if they have some tips on application. I want to do it right.
Flawless looking coverage. Squalane.
Oh, can't wait to get that squalane. Okay, it looks like the brush they were using was kind of floppy. It was obviously an IT Cosmetics brush, and I actually considered getting one of their brushes, but then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to. I'm going to use my good old favorite Zoeva buffer foundation brush. It's just like a flat top. I just feel like I can get really good coverage with this brush. I like this shape. I'm kind of just stuck on this one lately. So this is what I'm gonna use and we're gonna try it out. It says to use 1 to 2 pumps of foundation. That's quite a bit of foundation. Okay, not that much comes out. Ooh, this is a thick one. It's moving a little bit. It's moving very, very slowly. That looks full coverage to me. All right, this shade's a little bit light for me. I think we can make it work, hopefully. I should have just gotten 2 shades. That's all right. All right, not so bad. It definitely is a little bit light. I was confused. There was so many shades. Like, good job for doing all the shades and everything for everybody, but I get lost. Okay, so I'm definitely getting good coverage, but I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I've been having problems with my skin, and I've also been having problems keeping my hands away from my skin, and I've just been picking a lot and it's not been going very well, and it's just awful. And I'm trying to figure that out, and things are actually turning around a bit, but I do still have spots lingering just from what did happen. So like right here, I have like a big red spot. And that's definitely showing through where that's still healing. You can still see a little bit here, a little bit of dots here and down here under my nostril over here. I definitely feel like it's more of like an approaching full coverage, but at the same time, you don't want like full coverage on the first application. That's a little scary. That would maybe be really hard to blend. So maybe it just takes a little bit more over those spots, or maybe, hey, you just have to go in with concealer, which actually, this one does have really amazing coverage. But when you've got something that's really pigmented, you do have to go in with concealer, just maybe not as much. Even still, I would say this foundation has a hair less coverage than the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I don't know why I keep going back to that one, but it's just what I've been wearing for the last couple of days, so I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna bring this down my neck. A little too much foundation for this much of my neck showing. So I brought it up onto my chin a little bit more, and it did help with the coverage. So it is like a little dabble do ya. Makeup is so gross. Do you ever feel that? Just like suddenly in the middle of like putting foundation on, I'm just like, oh, like this is gross. Like I feel good after, but I'm like, during, you know? Feeling kind of pale. Is it okay? Yeah. Definitely paler than the arm, but my face usually is paler than my arm, and maybe I can warm it up with bronzer. That's what we do, right? I should have gone a little bit darker with the foundation, so that's on me, obviously, because I had a lot of selection. I probably could have found one that was a perfect match. I want to kind of wait a minute and see if it will kind of set itself. Okay, sorry about the foundation lips. Weirdly, I feel like I can already see it kind of accentuating my smile lines. It's been like 3.5 seconds. Let me just like disgustingly zoom you in. Can you tell? I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder. I can't really tell. I'm gonna get even closer. I'm so sorry about everything happening with me being in your face like this. My lips are dry. This is whatever. It'll be over soon, I promise. So I don't feel like I have that big of an issue with these lines being super accentuated until it's like, you know, hours into the day, but it's been just a few minutes and I feel like I'm already kind of seeing that. Oh, I need to zoom you out. You know, I'm just gonna leave it alone, see what happens, and maybe I'll do my application a little bit different when I put it on in the next couple of days, and then see what happens from there. It has only been a couple of minutes, and I feel like it's only like slightly like a hair tacky, like not bad at all. I hate when there's a foundation that doesn't set itself at all. Like I'm not into foundations like that. I'm an oily girl. I need to powder. I try to use as little as I can to set my foundation, but I do need to set it or I'll just be like a greasy mess in just a few hours, and that's not fun for anyone. That's just a waste of time, a waste of makeup. I'm not into it. So I will be setting this, but just to let you know, in case you have more normal to dry skin, you probably won't even need to set this. That's nice, right? That's what's in. It seems like people are pretty anti-powder right now, but I kind of can't jump on that. It would not work for me. Okay, for real, I'm just gonna go on and do the rest of my makeup. I will list all the products I can remember in the description if you're curious, but I'll just see you in a minute when my face is done. All right, I'm back and it's been like an hour and a half. I kind of got really distracted. I did my hair, I did my bangs. Do you like them? They're new. They're sort of new. They're new on my channel at least. Hopefully you like them. I finished my makeup and I got scared like half to death by a meter reader. It was terrifying. I was not expecting that at all. And as far as the makeup, I like it. I do feel like I'm having a little bit of shine breakthrough that I was not expecting because it's supposed to be a full coverage velvet matte kind of finish. I would maybe expect this more of like a satin finish maybe, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's breaking down at all. It does have a more makeup-y look already, but at the same time, if I'm comparing it to Double Wear, that has a makeup-y look. But the reason why you go for that is for the coverage and the staying power. And so, you know, so it's kind of like a little trade-off. You kind of gotta like give up the non-makeup-y look to wear the makeup that's gonna stay on all day. Like that's just how it works. You can't have it all, sadly. Let me zoom in. Okay, so maybe you can see a little bit better that there's a little bit of shine coming through. It's not a lot. I don't feel like a grease ball. I don't feel like I need powder or a blotting sheet or anything like that yet, but I feel like it is on the horizon. You probably don't need a pore tour, but I just want you to see what it really, really looks like on the skin with powder, with everything. All right, so now I'm just gonna go on about my life and check in with you when I have news or at the end of the day, just so you can see how it wore through the day and I can let you know what's up. Yeah. See you later. Okay, I'm back. The sun has actually gone down. I did not intend for that to happen, but the day just got away from me and I'm about to have dinner. It's been about 8 hours and the foundation has definitely gotten really, really oily on me. I'm using my vlog camera right now, but I'm sure you can see, even in this light, like I am pretty oily. I'm getting pretty greasy. It's definitely time for a touch up with some powder or a shine sheet. Yeah, I don't like when my foundation feels like this. It starts to feel really heavy on me. I don't feel like I'm glowing right now. I feel like I'm greasy and I do not like that. So it's definitely time for a touch up. I definitely feel like it's showing its wear definitely on my chin, and that is an area that I went back over with a second layer. It was a light layer, but I did go back over it. Maybe I should have used more powder. I can definitely try using more powder tomorrow. And really, I just wanted to go as long as I could without touching up before giving you an update, because I wanted you to really see what it looks like without touch-ups. With this foundation, I started to feel like I might need a touch-up, might need a little bit of blotting powder around like hour 4. So it's relatively early. I was definitely expecting and hoping for a little bit of a better wear time, or at least a little bit more oil control. But you know, they do say, oh, this is a very hydrating but matte foundation, which I don't really know how that works. I've never really encountered a foundation like that. So this would be the first. I was hopeful, but it didn't really work out for me today so far. But I will be trying it out for a couple more days and I will check back in with a final review after giving it a few more tries. All right guys, I'm back and I'm again wearing the foundation. I spent 3 days back to back wearing the Confidence in a foundation. I've been playing with different ways to wear it. Not so much primer, a little more powder, trying to keep the foundation away from my lines, not layering it at all. You know, I've really been trying to work with it, trying to fall in love with it, because I think, you know, you can't just like slap it on your face one time and expect to love it. You know, there's different ways to apply stuff, but overall, unfortunately, I can't say I'm in love with this one. It's definitely not a favorite for my skin type, which tends to be oily. It just gets too greasy. I haven't used a shine sheet or any powder or anything. I've been wearing it all day. I did go get my lashes filled this afternoon, so it is kind of like a different kind of situation. So like my forehead might be a little bit more beat up and some of the foundation might be missing up there, and that's why. But generally, this foundation just does not last on me. The main thing that I really don't like is that I just get oily a lot sooner than I would expect. And I just cannot help but compare these two foundations, because I feel like they're both kind of like, hey, this is full coverage, it stays matte, it will stay on your skin through the apocalypse, through a wedding, through anything and everything that you throw at your face. And I would definitely say this is the one for you if you're an oily girl and you want full coverage, definitely over this one. This one I think is a little more pricey. I can't remember the price point right now because I haven't purchased it in a while, but I have a whole bunch of them. But beyond it just getting oily, which is pretty much something I deal with any foundation, like eventually even the Double Wear will get oily on me. And my typical touch-ups are using a shine sheet, or I will use my blotting powder. This is the Soap and Glory Kick-Ass Instant Retouch Pressed Powder. I love this stuff. I've been using it for years. I've repurchased it a million times. I love it. And I use it with a little brush that I keep in my purse. This is the Supergoop Invisible Setting Powder, and it's SPF 45. So I don't like really shake out the powder that's in here. I just use the brush onto here, and I always just kind of tell myself that some of that sunscreen powder is getting on there too. And that's usually how I fix myself up when I'm starting to get oily, and that's how I retouch throughout the day if I need to. And for me, if I'm starting to get oily and I'm starting to see the foundation break up in certain areas, sometimes with some foundations, it can start to lift and come off if I use a shine sheet. Okay, so we're just zooming in, and I'm gonna show you what happens when I use a shine sheet. And that's really the area I need to use it most, like right on my T-zone. So it feels a lot better, and I'm not sure if I'm close enough for you to really, really see. I really hope you can see what I'm talking about, but it just kind of mushes the foundation into my pores in some places and takes it off in other places. So I don't love this. I don't love this at all. Being in Texas, having oily skin, retouching and touching up my foundation and trying to get rid of oil, it's just part of my life. Like, there's no foundation that I don't have to do that. But with this one, I had high hopes that I would not have to do it as soon as I do. And I also had high hopes that the foundation would stick a little bit better through my touch-up process. And yesterday, I didn't have time to do an update, but I was going to a concert and I had to touch up the foundation because it was getting really, really oily. And I used my powder to avoid using a shine sheet and maybe taking some foundation away like you just saw happened. And it still moved, it still looked gross. And that's just another thing that makes me not like this foundation. So sadly, I have to say, I don't recommend this foundation for oily girls that are looking for a matte full coverage foundation. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't work for you if you have a different skin type, or maybe if you live in a different climate. I just always feel like I have to say like every side of the story, and maybe I overanalyze it. I just don't want to leave anyone out, and I don't want to mislead anyone. So that's a situation. I really hope this review was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this review. If you want to see more videos from me, definitely hit the bell for notifications every time I upload. I'd love to have you back, and you can also find me on social media. It's LeighAnnSays everywhere, and I'd love to talk to you over there. I'm always doing stuff everywhere, and I love to hear your feedback. I love to talk to you guys, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone. Excuse me. My desk right here is so busy and so messy. I'm embarrassed. That could be the shade mismatch. I'm all mixed up over here. I love to tell the tale. Y'all, I don't even really know.